Silent Hill stands out as one of the most iconic horror gaming franchises in history. No one can deny how much they've impacted the survival horror genre as a whole during their lifespan. And, as there are many interesting facts that have surfaced about these games, there are also a lot of interesting hidden ones. So, here is my top 10 Silent Hill facts you may not know. Number 10. Final boss just can't take it. The first Silent Hill game is a true step towards real horror within games. It creates tension and atmospheres rarely done nowadays in AAA gaming. This game holds some very interesting characters and bosses that still stay freaky to this day. However, did you know that if you enter the final boss with no ammo for any of your weapons, the boss will die? Once you enter the final area, spoiler warning for a 1999 game, anyway, once in here, the final boss will fight you as normal. If you cycle through your weapons and show the boss you have no ammo whilst dodging 2 of her attacks, the game will then take you to the ending sequence of her dying, thus beating the game. Number 9. Pyramid Head originally did not have the iconic helmet. The design in Silent Hill games are sublime, from the game design aspects to the character design. Within the character design stands out some of the most prominent and twisted enemy character designs within video games as a whole. Aito Masahiro used real-life parallels as inspiration, as well as from his favourite artist, the Irish artist Francis Bacon, whose tormented features inspired the world of Silent Hill. The most striking and original monster of Silent Hill is that of the Pyramid Head. This character went through many iterations and redrafts until its final design was chosen. The enemy character designer wanted something with a hidden face, creating a sense it was less human and, in result, more disturbing. His first idea was this monster, before realizing it was nothing but a human in a mask. He then used the idea of a mask in the form of a triangle, explaining, "The triangle has right angles and acute edges. Their sharpness suggests the possibility of pain, and the triangle shape also helps explain the monster's role in the game." Number 8. Western culture parallels. There are many references to Western culture found in Silent Hill 1. The first and more bearingly obvious are the names of the streets in the map. Many of the street names are named after famous Western authors, such as Ray Bradbury, James Ellroy, and Richard Bachman. There are other references too, such as the word Red Rum written in blood on the garage door, located at Blotch Street. This is in reference to Stephen King's novel The Shining. Number 7. Callin Konami's customer support number in Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Silent Hill Shattered Memories, which is a reimagining of the original game, has a mechanic which allows the player to send texts and calls within the game. If the player calls Konami's official customer support number, they will be put through to an operator who acknowledges that you're calling from Silent Hill and that you are beyond their help.
Thank you for calling Konami Customer Support. How may I assist you today? Hello? Hello? Our caller ID shows that you're calling from Silent Hill. I regret to inform you that you are beyond even our help.
Number 6. The map for the church in Silent Hill 3 was drawn by a child. Throughout the games, you rely heavily on your map to find your way. There is one map in particular that stands out from the rest in the series. In Silent Hill 3 during the church section, you're treated to this map. Now, if you're thinking, wow, this looks like it was drawn by a child, then you'll be surprised to know that you're right. A son of one of the game designers, aged about 5 years old, drew the church's map for the game. Contrasting from the other maps in the game, this adds a bit of eeriness about it, and where it came from. This sort of thing in the game helps keep things fresh, as the aesthetics are always changing through the progression of the game. Number 5. Secret cutscene in Silent Hill 3. All fans of the second Silent Hill game playing Silent Hill 3 will be treated to a fun little Easter egg cutscene. In the toilet scene, if the player has game data from Silent Hill 2 in the memory card, when the player tries to get Heather to reach into the toilet, she will attempt to reach in it before saying,
"Get it. This is way too gross. Who would even think of doing something so disgusting?"
The reason she turns to the camera, looking straight at the player, is because this is a reference to a similar setting from the second game. There is an action that James does where he goes into a toilet and does this. Listen to that sound. Hope he washes his hands before eating. Nom 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 nom. Number 4. Silent Hill 4 started out as a different game called Room 302. You wake up and find yourself in your apartment. It's a small, 4-roomed, cozy spaced living quarters for your normal life in South Ashfield. However, something's different. The front door's all chained from the inside, with a message saying, "Don't go out, Walter," that appears in before your very eyes in blood. This game has a very different formula that contrasts dramatically from the first games. It has you, the player, trapped in an apartment, to which you transport to a strange and wonderful world full of monsters and ghouls. One of the main reasons why this game is so different from the others in the series is that it originally started out development as a different game called Room 302. Tsuboyama says, "If you create the series and have to come up with something new every time, and we wanted to have a dramatic change this time, the room should be the safest part of your world. What if that changes to nightmares?" With this in mind, the concept birthed the premise of being stuck in this room, traversing through the game to unlock the mysteries further. Number 3. This feels familiar. As you work your way through Silent Hill Downpour, you come across a harpoon. This item helps you reach emergency ladders that lead to many locations throughout the game. In Pearl Creek at Lansdale Avenue, Murphy can visit the apartment that Henry Townsend is trapped in from the 4th game. Yes, that's right, you can visit Room 302. Yet another cool way the developers have linked the games together in the Silent Hill universe. One thing I'd like to point out, and I'm sure I'm wrong on this one, so if you guys can help me out, that'll be great. The apartment Room 302 from Silent Hill 4 isn't set in Silent Hill, but rather it's set in South Ashfield, which is apparently nearby. This begs the question, how does Murphy get to this room? Mind you, this could just be a drop in the many unexplainable things found within the town of Silent Hill. Number 2. Silent Hill 2 HD Texture Bug. The Silent Hill HD remake was riddled with bugs, from odd visual ones to audio mishaps. Yes, framerate would halt action to almost a stop, lip syncing would be off, and much, much more. There is one bug in particular that I would like to mention in this top 10 however, and this is a texture one. Towards the end of the game, Maria's right eye texture would be replaced with her teeth for some unexplained reason. I'm sorry, I can't do this with her looking at me like that. 1 second. There we go. As I was saying, this is one of the few bugs that I like to think almost fits in with the aesthetic of the game. I mean, from a designer point of view, I wouldn't put it in myself. It bears no meaning or context at all to the overall narrative. However, in the world riddled with really messed up monsters, this really only scratches the surface when faced with monsters like these, or even this. Whoa, I'm sorry, I have no idea how they got in there. That shouldn't be in my pictures folder. Number 1. The antagonist in Silent Hill 4 was foreshadowed in Silent Hill 2. Information found in Silent Hill 2 not only mentions about the main bad guy in Silent Hill 4, but it also gives some backstory into one of the enemies fought in the game too, as they all link together. In the second game, there is a newspaper mentioning Walter Sullivan killing himself not long after killing twins Billy and Miriam Locane. Walter is not only brought into Silent Hill 4 as the main antagonist, but the twins are also referenced as the twin victim enemy of the game. As mentioned before, this game wasn't originally started as a Silent Hill game. However, this was a great way to keep them connected in a nice, subtle way. Anyway, I hope you liked this week's roundup, and if you learned something new, leave a like, I like checking. And if you know something else about this game, leave in the comments, I actually also like checking on them too. Anyway, if you missed last week's top 10, click here for the top 10 creepy deep sea creatures. They say 95% of the ocean is unexplored, and from what we have found, I'm happy about that. And also, if you want to see another related top 10, click here for my top 10 Resident Evil facts. It's like this video, but about Resident Evil.